Welcome to episode 12 of Hanging Out with the Monkey, the official podcast of OddsMonkey, the #1 match betting service in the world. Welcome to all the listeners. Today we're going to be looking at a couple of new events. We've got the UEFA Nations League and we've got the new NFL season. Joining me today to talk all things sport and match betting is Ricky from OddsMonkey.
Hiya.
And Phil from TrickyBet.
Hi.
Right, guys. So yeah, we've got a new event to look forward to. I don't think the juices are quite flowing, but it is a big event. All the best teams in Europe are playing in this. It's the UEFA Nations League, and yeah, we've got a few big games in theory to look forward to. None more so than England v Spain, two of the favourites for the whole competition. Rick, judging by the offers, etc., the bookmakers aren't really loving this event so far. Obviously, we expect to see a few of the usual candidates in terms of offers, etc. But there's nothing jumping out in terms of Nation League specifically, is there?
Can't see anything specific for it at the minute. So hopefully it will catch on once the game starts to get in play. But there's very little we can choose from at the minute. The only one that I've seen currently is the World Sports doing the crossbar one for all the games. But other than that, it's very sparse on bookmakers.
And so we expect a few more to come through before the weekend. Rick, what are the usual ones that we would be looking out for or hoping to be on?
I don't know, there could be some match-specific ones. So you'll probably find a goal scorer scores or anything like that. They'll probably be more towards the individual matches rather than generic for the competition.
Yeah, so we're going to have to wait for this to go along. And Phil, any of the usual ones that the guys should be looking out for? Obviously, there's a lot of games coming up over the next few days, so we know the Premier League isn't on and the Championship isn't on, but there's still quite a lot of games on there, so there will be opportunities out there to continue over the weekend, what to do the offers, etc.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the 2-up stuff's still going to be on. I'm hoping over the weekend this is going to pick up massively. I mean, competitive England games, normally there's plenty of offers around. It's weird how quiet it's been. Like, there's not much media attention for this. To be honest, I didn't even know that it started until you told me yesterday that this was on. Well, I think in a couple of years, this, it should be like a Six Nations type thing where this is like a really key event of the year. It should be good. Yeah,
that is the hope, I think, isn't it, Rick? I think they're hoping that the carrot is to do with seedings, etc., isn't it? So you have to sort of compete in this because you don't want your seeding to drop too much, because otherwise when it comes to qualifying for the World Cup and the Euros, you don't want your ranking to drop too much. So I think that's the carrot here, isn't it? Yeah,
I don't think England are going to want to finish bottom of the group and fall down a level. Yeah, so there will be some competitiveness there. And hopefully with that competitive as well, hopefully the bookmakers will latch on and start giving us some better offers.
Yeah, we'll have a quick look at predictions overall. It's quite hard, isn't it? I had a quick look before. It's the usual suspects, obviously Spain, France, Germany favourites. Because obviously this does lead into semi-finals and final, believe it or not, etc. So it's going to be hard to predict the winner, isn't it? But you would think that France would want to keep going the record. So I'll probably pump for France here. I think they'll want to continue on to the qualifying for the World Cup. There's a World Cup coming up next in Qatar. So I'll go for France. Rick, who would you be pumping for at this stage?
Very early days. It'd be nice to see who's going to take this as serious, as more serious than others. But yeah, I'll probably go for Germany. After the World Cup they're probably going to want to come out a little bit and prove some people wrong after the disastrous World Cup. So yeah, I'll probably go for Germany.
And Phil, who would you be looking at early?
I would have said France as well. I mean, Germany was a weird one in the World Cup. Obviously, there was stuff going on behind the scenes there that didn't come out until after the World Cup, especially with Ozil and stuff. I'm presuming that's all been sorted out, so maybe they're going to be more on the ball than they were in the World Cup. But yeah, I think France for me. I hope England take it seriously and that they'd have a decent chance, but can they maintain that kind of momentum from that World Cup? I think they might be a bit flat after that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a World Cup hangover. A lot of the players who went to the World Cup haven't been playing too much. Actually, I understand there's going to be a feature on OddsMonkey coming out next 2 days about that, so one to look out for everyone. So the football coverage for the weekend, it's actually on for the next 4 or 5 days, this competition, so love it or hate it, it does provide us with some football over the next few days, guys. And obviously, something else to look forward to, especially me. I'm not sure you two guys really are, but it's the NFL back this week. There's a game start tonight, Philadelphia, Atlanta, but we've got the whole thing to look forward to, playoffs. And Phil, unlike the Nations League, the bookmakers seem to be coming round to the NFL, and a lot of UK fans, etc. And there is a few offers out there.
Yeah, I think it's taken a few years, but interest's finally starting to ramp up for the NFL. There's a lot of offers on, which is, I don't know, I find it a little bit strange. The bookies seem to be pushing it quite hard. But yeah, Bet365 and Paddy Power have translated the 2-up offer over to NFL, so it's 14 up, which it's the same, right? 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think you were saying that that's pretty good because 2 touchdowns is not the same as 2 goals in football, and that could easily swing the other way.
Yeah, the extra points aren't guaranteed after the touchdown, so it's one to look out for. And Rick, something I was discussing off with Phil. We come back to tactics, and we're going to be doing features in the coming months about tactics and OddsMonkey and different things. Would you encourage people to keep an eye on the NFL, take advantage of these offers, even if, like yourself, we're not in love with the NFL, we don't know much about it? Or is there something that the novices should steer away from, stick to the spots and all? How would you approach that? Is it different for every person?
Well, it's different for every person. It depends on how comfortable you are with the offers you're currently doing. I mean, if you're just starting out, then perhaps it's not an offer you'd be looking at the minute, because you do have to take action depending to go 14 up or 2 up in the football. You have to take additional action to try and lock in the profit. But if you're more experienced and you've got a bit more experience and knowledge behind you, then yeah, I mean, all the tools are on site. We've got a guide on site with spreadsheets on what to do. So it's more towards the more experienced kind of match better, shall we say, to go for these type of offers.
Yeah, and obviously we would tell everyone, make sure you're aware of the kickoff times for these American games. A lot of them are 6 o'clock on a Sunday, but some of them are overnight, as we'll see tonight on a Thursday. So obviously check the small print, isn't it, guys, for all these sort of things.
Some people like the throughout the night games, yeah, but not for me. I'm not into the NFL as much at the minute, but I say the 14 up is a good offer to start with if you are looking at going into the NFL type of offers.
And we were talking about small print there, Phil. There was an offer, one we've seen today from JetBull on the NFL, which seems like it is a good offer, but there is a bit of small print to go with it.
Yeah, so a lot of these weird bookies like JetBull, I mean, this offers invite only, so if you've got a JetBull account, check your emails. But they are offering 50% back on losing bets as a free bet, up to £100. So you can put a £200 bet on, and if it loses, you're going to get a £100 free bet. Now, we were looking at the terms, and obviously you could do this as using the risk-free calculator on OddsMonkey to lock in a profit. However, the terms are a bit weird. It says you have the chance to get a free bet. So we weren't quite sure if that meant you were guaranteed, but reading a bit further, it looks like you do get it as long as you receive an email, but you have to actually ask for it. This isn't just something you get. You have to contact customer services and ask for the free bet, which some of these smaller bookmakers make you do. So they make you jump through a few more hoops before you get these things. So it's always worth checking the terms and conditions, because you might be sat there thinking, well, where's my free bet? But actually, you've got to email customer services first. But yeah, if you've got a JetBull account, that's what worth checking your emails for, because £100 free bet is pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, so over to predictions again. I know you two guys love going to call and we'll be listening closely. I'll go first here. It has to be the Los Angeles Rams to go all the way this year. Let's not forget last year, the Philadelphia Eagles, they were 40-1 winners here. You can get some really good offers early doors with the prices, etc. It's really competitive, the NFL at the moment, which is what it's meant to be, hence the draft system and the way it works. The NFL is meant to be competitive for everyone. But the Rams have spent a lot of money. They're living up to the Hollywood billing, and I think they will go all the way in Atlanta come March time in the fantastic Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Rick, who would you be clumping for? I know you've had a chance to look at the odds. Who's catching your fancy?
I'm going to go for something a bit bigger price. I like a bit of value at times. So currently 20-1, I believe. Going to go for Atlanta Falcons to become the first home team ever to get to the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's an interesting one. Yeah, there's some real value there in a tough division, but they're looking a very good team. And Phil, who are you going for across the pond?
Well, I like that Atlanta bet because I always like the ones where it's like, oh, it'll be the first time this has happened. Because after, always in hindsight, you think, why didn't I bet on that? Because like these things often do happen. However, I like to bet on the favourites, or that's what I seem to pick anyway. But yeah, I mean, New England, I think they have a chance to set a record, right, if they win this.
Yeah, the league will become the greatest of all time. Obviously, with Brady and Belichick are one of the greatest of all time. But yeah, they'll match the Pittsburgh Steelers of 6 wins if they do it. Obviously, they lost the final last year, Super Bowl, sorry. But yeah,
I think that's huge motivation for them, and they're already probably the best team. So I think that, they're the favourites for a reason. So I'll go with them anyway. That's
pretty good. One to watch out for. So that's just about it for today. Obviously, this month is a busy month. We're going to be back with at least another 2 podcasts this month. We're going to be looking at the Champions League next week. And then follow that up with the Ryder Cup, one of the sporting events of the whole year. And again, please, guys, get onto the forum, ask us any questions. We're going to be a bit more active in the forum for everyone. We're going to be pushing this out with Rick, and we're going to push everything to social media. Any questions for Ricky and Phil and any of our experts, please get in touch. They're in on the forum, but if you want us to talk about anything live on air, then please do get in touch. It's all in the forum, isn't it, Rick? We want people to get in touch and ask questions. Nothing's too stupid to ask, is it?
Of course not, no. We're all at different levels. We all have different experiences and knowledge. So, yeah, we're all here to help in any way, at any level, any questions anyone has.
Cool. And then if you just want to come on and slag Ricky and Phil's predictions off, please do.
Well, you can't if you look how good they've been. We're 70 points up, Ricky.
Well, yeah, if you've been following, we'd all be in profit now.
Yeah, so yeah, well, there we go. Then just have to keep listening, keep getting these picks, and we'll keep trying to do our best for you. But until next time, thanks for joining us.